compare that to what UNSW A have got. They've got JRDB on Anivia, a champion that can get picks, that can suddenly burst you down from 100 to 0, you factor in Ignite as well, even a jungler gank coming in and helping out. And same thing, Graves and Zyra together, they'll be able to get picks off as well. It's going to be difficult against a Sivir or Morgana, Black Shield, Spell Shield, going to be pretty hard to find the kills, but if they do get those lucky catches, they've still got kill potential, whereas everyone individually, or even just in terms of laning, they don't have a lot of kill potential coming up from UNSWB.
Let's get right into it though. Same aggressive kind of move coming out. This time it's being reacted to in a much smarter way. Nice ward going over the wall there, but this whole thing has been spotted out. Nobody on B is going to let themselves get caught out by this. And they're also going to know exactly where A have placed down those wards that they've gone that deep to pick up. Another nice ward there. I think that was, yeah, it was just in the bush. So really lit up this side of the jungle like a Christmas tree there, so that they know everything Omega Ziz is doing. They know his work, his life, his everything. They know when he goes to the bathroom in the morning. They're gonna have so much information about his jungle route there.
So I'm quite surprised actually to see. Usually when you see a 5-man invade, or a scouting party into the enemy jungle, the enemy team knows that there's not going to be anyone else on the other side of the map, and then they go up and ward it. However, UNSWB didn't take advantage of that fact. They didn't move up into the top side jungle and start warding it up there. If they had, they would have seen that Toasties, he's starting on the ghost camp. You can kind of predict that, but you can mess it up as well. You can move in with your top laner, start hitting him as well. He's got teleport. Irrecusable could have gone in and started harassing him there. But they didn't get that vision down, which kind of surprises me. It's not going to factor in too much, but it just shows that maybe they're trying to be just even too safe here.
Yeah, quite possibly. I mean, by sticking around, they did get to see where all the wards went. Wow, Huey going aggressive there around the red buff. But I was just saying, you do get to see where all the wards go down, and instead of like saying, yeah, okay, a lot of what we're going to be doing, but we know that it sounds silly, but it can actually be quite a crucial thing for them. As much as they haven't tried to disrupt Huey's jungle, by getting vision down in there, at the same time it is also a Nunu, and we just saw it. The Nunu, he's only going to spend so much time in his own jungle. You don't necessarily need to know where he is in his jungle, you need to know where he is in your jungle. Oh yeah, taking some damage. The flash forward from JRDB. That's the first blood right there. The ignite stun, and he was enough to get the kill.
And that's actually quite surprising as well, seeing a solo kill. But at the same time, I mentioned it earlier on. UNSWA have champions that individually have a little bit of kill potential, especially that Anivia. Just, if you happen to land a stun, you're going to get a lot of free damage combining that in with the Flash Frost. See, in the mid lane actually, Megazin's not going to find anything, but did manage to... no, he didn't force the Flash. Flash is already down, so... paying a bit of attention there, but JRDB able to get out nice and safely. But I want to bring it back to that invade coming up from Huey. Didn't actually get anything. Omega Ziz was able to pick up the red buff, and Huey just ended up wasting a lot of time. He's going to be behind almost in terms of farm time. And that's just something that's a position you don't want to be in when you're a Nunu.
You're dead right about that. And here he comes again. This time he was able to get the steal, and Omega Ziz was a bit too low to stick around and contest, so finally getting it. But while that's been going on, Huey's actually not cleared his own red buff yet. He's only cleared the blue, so that is still up to be contested. If Omega Ziz is going to be able to get back in time, given Huey has decided to stop and pick up that Gromp as well. So
and I do like that, the fact that he didn't quite manage to get the red, big deal. But he did manage to move into the blue buff. And it's pretty typical to know, especially as someone who does jungle on Sejuani a lot, Huey's going to know that if you go straight to that blue buff, you're going to be incredibly low. And that's exactly what Omega Ziz was. If he doesn't go to the blue buff, goes to, say, the wolf camp instead, hang on, you're in trouble.
Huey making the moves. There goes the Sanguine Pool. Yeah, going to be totally safe there. JRDB didn't back after getting that kill and then surviving a gank. So everything he's done on incredibly low health and mana, and he's still giving a hard time, with no flash. and now that Sanguine Pool will be down. Well, it's probably back up by now, but in any case, just
You'd hope it's back up. Oh my
Yeah.
god. That'd be a pretty big bug.
Right,
if it's not
right,
back
please.
like 20 seconds later.
yeah, DB
Um,
has back now turned that into some more real gold, as I like to call it, picking up that tier of the goddess there.
So this bot lane as well, you can see a pretty sizable CS lead already coming up from Stealthix, and I talked about it before, it's pretty hard to pick up kills against Evils and External Rage. Spell Shield, Black Shield, pretty hard to pick up kills. But what they've been doing is they've just been zoning out with the plants, and that's something that Zyra really brings to the table. They want to get in close to deal with the plants, they're going to take a bit of damage, Stealthix is going to be there with the buckshot, and now you can see it's really working brilliantly as they've forced Evils just too far away from the minions. He's relying on Boomerang Blade to pick up just like singular CS, and that is not a position you want to be in when you're Evils.
Absolutely not. Slave of Lord has been really strong on all these more ranged supports that can just harass you from a distance, and we're seeing that again on the Zyra here. Omegas is looping around the bottom side for a gank, but he's not even close to finding something there. You know, even without a massive amount of ward coverage, Slave of Lord knows how to play nice and defensively. You know, oh yeah, getting caught up by another star, and that's another kill. JRDB. Wow. Yeah, there must be, you know, a logic to picking up the Vladimir pick, but he's struggling a little bit in that lane right now.
Well, I mean, Vladimir is a champion that you have to really predict the oncoming pick potential from the enemy to use your pull effectively. And generally, if you're getting hit by the Q coming out from Anivia, then there's really not time to use your Sanguine Pool, because otherwise you just moved out in time, right? Generally the Q from Anivia is just a surprise, you know, how did he hit me sort of moments, and in that time you don't have time to pull. The Flash Frost has already come in with the double damage, and now that he's got access to the Glacial Storm, he's got pretty much free harass coming up from there, and, you know, yeah, hasn't even had a chance to get his Hextech Revolver. He doesn't have as much sustain as you'd like to see, and this bottom lane as well is looking pretty low, but at the same time, other side of the map, Omegas is getting counter jungle.
They're warring over every single camp now. Omegas did actually pick up the Gromp there, so that is Huey losing a little bit of time there. The real tell is going to be whether or not Omegas is going to be able to make stuff happen across the map. You know, he needs to really start getting onto that soon. Otherwise, he's just going to spend his entire game as the guy Huey has been shutting down. You know, you can't let yourself do that when you're jungling against a Nunu. You can't just let him constantly be getting on top of you and getting to you, stealing your camps, and just disrupting your game. You have to go and make stuff happen elsewhere. And wow, there they are again, duking out. No, he's going to take that camp. Take that. And they're going to wander back to his lane where, yeah, is JRDB off to the other side, though, yeah, can't afford to get too close. Not going to be able to have any more damage being traded down. Ward will go down though. Oh, Stealthix! No, caught up under the turret. Oh, he's burning. External Rage picks up that kill. A much needed one in response, and a bit of a misplay and a misstep there by Stealthix, getting too close to the action.
They lost an AD carry, but they're still going for the dragon anyway. They know that, yeah, can't really loop around. Omegas was quite low from the last fight with Huey, so they still have the power to go for the dragon. Ah, we almost saw an execute. That would have been cool.
That would be amazing.
But yeah, despite losing an AD carry, you can see External Rage coming to check it out, but the objective control from a Nunu is just so massive.
Exactly, and that's part of why they can afford to pick up a dragon without having a mid or an AD there. In fact, you almost wonder if actually that was what Stealthix was planning to do. Just stay in their bottom lane, throw off the enemy a little without actually getting caught. I think that was a mistake, legitimately. While the Nunu and the Zyra went off to pick up that dragon, given that both are actually very strong objective controllers.
And even, like, you know, factoring in that kill down there, the kill actually went over to External Rage. What's he actually going to bring to the table as, you know, a support Morgana? Yes, he's going to be able to pick up, what, an extra pink ward. He's managed to pick up his Sightstone as well. But at the same time, you know, Sivir is still 30 CS, or almost 30 CS behind Stealthix. He's not going to be putting out the same amount of damage. Stealthix, you know, he's only got a boots advantage right now, but eventually it's going to be to a point where Stealthix has an Infinity Edge and Evils doesn't. And that's just going to be where the team fights are going to start getting way in the favor of UNSWA especially considering, you know, that's going to come up in about 6 minutes
Oh,
time.
the counter Stealthix, and there goes the Arctic Assault, catching him right up. Stealthix, he's going to go down before he even knows what's going on. Slave of Lord now in trouble, does not have the flash available. Huey is on the other side of the wall, just saying hi. Nothing we can really do to help. Toasty's teleported down. Oh, he could be in a bad position now. He's going to get stunned up as well. Nice catch. JDB and Huey are there to try and make something happen, but it's the two of them against almost the entirety of the enemy team. Now it's in fact the entirety of the enemy team. Yeah, is there. He goes down the odds, but there's the absolute zero, not going to do anything. And now actually Huey is running for dear life. It's, yeah, chasing him down. One more Q is going to do it. He picks up the kill. Now it's JRDB in trouble. He's going to try and trade with Omegas. Omegas is going to go down, but JRDB going to get egged up, and he is going to fall as well. An absolute steamroll coming out from Team B.
And in fact, actually an unofficial ace. They got a kill on every single member of the enemy team. It's a shame that the Dragon wasn't actually up, where they could have taken a well-earned prize from that. But still, you know, 5 kills is 5 kills. You know, that actually I think it ended up actually only being 4, but that's still a lot right now, and you can see that reflected in the gold. They're now sitting at a nice, comfortable 1,000 gold lead. The Dragon's not up for a while, but they're looking in a pretty good position to actually contest it when it comes up again. Yes, the AD carry may be an Infinity Edge, you know, short of an Infinity Edge while the enemy one might be, but actually, after that little bit of a skirmish, Evils has now evened up the gold, so ideally they'll be hitting the Infinity Edge spike at the same time, which means, all things considered, by the time the next Dragon's up, which should be in about 3 minutes or so, you get a team fight like that once again. There's so much power coming out from the Glacial Prison. If they can do that again, then UNSWB should look pretty good to even up the Dragon score as well.
Omega Ziz looked a lot better in that fight as well. First of all, than he has in previous games with the Sejuani, or at least in the last game, and also just straight up better than Huey. You know, as good as that Nunu is for disrupting the jungle and for all the objective control and everything, when it came down to it, he was very ineffective in that fight. Wasn't able to do much to help Slave of Lord. His absolute zero was like a half-second channel to try and zone out, and then he ended up blowing his flash straight away. He didn't have all that much effect, and in all honesty, that's not surprising, because he's just a Nunu who he hasn't got really a massive amount of damage or tankiness just yet. All he's got going for him is that objective control and jungle contesting.
So last game, we saw JRDB, you know, fall slightly behind in the CS earlier on. Of course, he came ahead pretty solidly in kills. That's not the case this time. He's solidly ahead in kills, actually. And there's a fight.
Oh, Slave of Lord got aggressive on the knockup as there on external range, though. Huey down to the bottom lane. This time they are able to find something. Omegas is there, maybe ready to try and make precision along with Evils. If they get a good catch, it could be all they need. No teleports available from the top lane, though, so not going to see any more support coming in. Speaking of the top lane, actually, Toasties, he's getting a little bit low. Irrecusable wants to die this one. Oh, what a flash! Now he's going to go and try and turn it around. No, Irrecusable picks up that kill. Does not get punished for it either. So, an overall 1-for-1, but on totally different sides of the map. And actually, Evils is maybe going to struggle to keep this turret alive now.
As Irrecusable goes into single-digit health, throwing out a cleaver and actually missing. But in any case, good pickup by him in the top lane. You know, I said they don't have a lot of kill potential. This could be a fight happening as they try to defend the turret.
The turret does
do so.
Goes down. The Stealthix and Slave of Lord are low. I don't think they could really afford to stick around. I mean, Evils is still quite healthy. The Nunu does have the absolute zero though, which makes any fight that breaks out difficult for us, for the Sivir to engage through. But nothing really going to happen, and it looks like A are just going to back away while B sit back, relax, and enjoy the minions.
Dragon coming up in about 35 seconds, and around the river it actually looks like uncharted territory currently. Not too many wards placed down there. Ideally, we'll see if both teams head on down there and start painting it up. Omegas is, he's already there. The bot lane for UNSWB already near the river. They should really start getting in there and planting that vision down. They've got to know that the Dragon's coming up very, very shortly. 15 seconds, there goes the vision. They're actually working on this turret, but it's full health. It's not going to go down in time. You're not going to get that advantage for the Dragon. Teleports actually seconds away for the top laners, so we may actually see this Dragon dance be a little bit delayed, but no, Huey looks like he's ready to get straight into it with that pink ward.
thing is, Toasties has his teleport already. Actually, no, Irrecusables has just come back up, and there was a bit of a window there where Toasties had his teleport and Irrecusable didn't. So actually, if a fight had broken out, Toasties would have been able to get there before Irrecusable. So it was unsafe for A to try and engage and contest that dragon, and the flip side of that is it was extremely safe for A to go into that dragon.
Yeah, we actually saw UNSWB not even try to contest it at all. And it's a bit of a shame because normally you see teams, when a dragon comes out, hang on, yeah, no, he's gonna be fine. When you see teams take a dragon, the enemy usually tries to, if they're not contesting it, tries to pick up something in return, like a tower, like at least a few kills on the other side of the map. Toasties, is he gonna be okay?
Pretty aggressive there. It paid off insofar as they got some good damage down, but they need to turn that into some turret pressure up there, or even just some raw vision control. JRDB going deep onto, yeah. Oh, Amigas this might be in trouble. There's a nice cleaver to slow them down, but Toasties, he's still looking for something. Maybe he wants to go in on this. JRDB is actually around the other side. Toasties is already low though. He's wanting to get out of the fight. The Absolute Zero already blown. Omegas is Irrecusable. They're running for the turret. I think they might just get there. Omegas is out of mana though. They are going to get away. One has to wonder if the collapse might come in. Yeah, it is back alive. He's got to be looking for something. External Rage does get stunned up, but the rest of the damage isn't there. This is a good place for Team B to collapse if they want. Omegas is going to have to back away though. Looks like nothing is quite going to come of that. Just a lot of hubbub without much bubbub.
There wasn't too much that UNSWB could really come in and collapse on them for though. They didn't have Glacier present.
Oh, Evil's going aggressive on the Stealthing. No, not entirely sure why, because the rest of the team is there to shut him down. He is going to be able to run away though, keep himself safe. External Rage, and yeah, off to the side. Now it's just the save the turret game, and it's not going to be easy against the Anivia.
Yeah, that wave clear is just absolutely devastating right now, but you could call it even disgusting as well. They're going to back off though. They take the turret, pick up the positional map advantage that they've got. Now they can waltz around the enemy jungle, plant as many wards as they want. Vegas is going to find two people. That's like opening a door and just seeing a monster right there.
Didn't have the ultimate.
Away. Yeah, what's he going to do with the ultimate?
Oh, just
delay the recall?
It would look cool. He'd get, what, 4 people? You know, he'd be able to say, hey, I landed a 4-man ultimate in the semi-finals.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you could almost consider that wasting the ultimate, but well, in any case, I would have loved to see it too.
Yeah, it really would be the wasted ultimate coming through there.
So you can see JRDB right now. We already know that he's been ahead for most of the game, providing a lot of value to UNSWA, but he's had, once again, that slow start build, that Tears of the Goddess, the Rod of their Ages. They're now building up. His Rod of the Ages has been bought 3 minutes ago, so it's building up as well. His Tears of the Goddess about halfway stacked, so he's still slightly far away from reaching the max potential of those items. However, now he's going to be able to start spending gold on actual damage, finishing off his boot to the magic penetration, start building up actual AP, Rabadon's Death Cap, if he chooses to go that route. That's right, put it.
Well, he's still holding on to the Ring of Doran there and the Ward of Vision, so
And the Goddess of Tears?
No, Tear of the Goddess! Ah, it's already in the name. It's like the only one that is.
Gosh, what am I thinking?
But in any case, you are dead right. Oh, the ultimate goes wide, but they still want to chase this one out onto JRDB. Yeah, isn't able to get close enough. Now Slave of Lord is ready on the side. This is not going to be a safe one for them to fight out, at least until the rest of their team arrives. Now Slave of Lord in a bit of a dodgy spot. All the members of the teams are there, except for the Maokai. This is an opportunity to push an advantage, but Irrecusable is actually backing Huey, taking a little bit of damage. Omegas is going to get caught up. The Arctic Assault to get out of there alive. Oh, nice wall, but no follow-up from JRDB Desu this time. Huey going a bit far out, doesn't get punished for it though. I feel like they're just brawling over these wards. That's all they want. I want to control that bush.
Yeah, in the end,
really is a game of inches.
Should go over to UNSWB, who are, they're holding on to this game right now. There's no solid lead for either team, really. The two dragons are up. The next one that does get taken, though, should really decide who's going to be in even more control of the game right now. The positional map advantage, definitely in favor of UNSWA. So Team B really needs to start pushing into their own side of the jungle and stop them just walking around doing whatever they want. This dragon It's about spawn in 1 minute 20 seconds, so you can sort of understand all the
wow, they found their accusable! As the tank is one of the team, and he's already in trouble. External Rage is still right to the middle. JRDB is still alive, as per usual. Still not going to go down to the Boomerang Blade, and Evils is going to have to flash his way out of there. JRDB even picked up a kill in amongst all that. It's become endemic of these fights. JRDB just never dies, no matter how much B throw on top of him. That combined with the vision control, and Team A had that in the last game as well. They just have more information about the landscape of these fights, and they're constantly using that to their advantage.
Not to mention, you know, JRDB still had his passive up, so he probably would have been fine even if he did go down to that ignite. Look at the bottom side of the jungle though. It is just painted red, and there might be 3 sweepers on the side of UNSWB. They're not upgraded yet, and you know, they're still on a hefty cooldown, so they're not going to be able to clear out all that vision by a long shot, even if they start everyone buying pink wards. They're going to have to be very lucky to actually get all of that vision cleared. So this next dragon that's spawning up in 12 seconds is just... UNSWA are going into it with such a huge advantage that they're going to be able to pick it up completely safely. They've got the Nunu to secure it. Nunu. They've got Nunu to secure it as safely as they want to. And UNSWB are respecting it, but they're still not able to trade it for anything.
It's actually the 3rd dragon as well for Team A here. They've actually had every single dragon. I mean, the first one isn't massive, but by the time you're getting up to the second one, the third one, you know, it starts to become massively effective, especially if they're able to get all the way up to that crucial 5th dragon. It's going to make them pretty much unstoppable in terms of sieging down turrets with that Anivia there. The other thing to note is, by controlling those dragons, they were able to stay in the game while Team B had a big kill lead, and in fact, Team B still have a kill lead. There was a while ago, it was about 7-3 the lead, and you know, it was only because of those dragons that Team A were able to keep the gold even, and the continued control is what's now putting them ahead.
Gotta agree there indeed. The Righteous Glory picked up is quite nice by Toasties. It's going to allow UNSWA to continue doing what they've been doing best, which is engaging the fights that they're comfortable with. If they see UNSWB out of position, they'll rush in with the Righteous Glory active, and then JRDB is going to throw out one of his signature walls and, you know, lock someone up, separate them from the team, pick up an easy kill, and then go from there. So I really like the Righteous Glory pickup. It'll just let UNSWA do what they're already doing, but do it better.
It really does. They're just slowly pushing out the advantages here. They don't need to rush, you know. There's, I guess the only big threat later on is going to be the Vladimir, you know, insofar as it's going to be more threatening later than it is now, but at the end of the day, they're happy to just take their time, control the enemy side of the jungle, he says as the wolves get taken by the friendly team, you know, control the enemy side of the jungle and tighten the vice grip, you know, take down the turrets, pick off more members of the team, and as I say it happens. External Rage gets caught out of position, falls down faster than he can blink.
And you can Black Shield all you want, it's not going to block that wall that comes out, and that's exactly what JRDB knew was going to happen. So, you know, they're just so on point with picking up kills that when UNSWB slips out of position even for a second, UNSWA are just going to be on it within a second. Once again, you know, I've got to point you guys at the mini-map, but look at that, that's probably the most red map. All I'm thinking right now is the Mr. Pandaria intro. Never mind, that's a story for another day as the teamfight starts.
It absolutely does. I mean, it's really just a lot of people trying to escape the oncoming storm there. I was saying before, you know, this is Team A just tightening the screws. They get a pick, they get a turret, and they leave Team B reeling.
So before anything happens again, the Mr. Pandaria intro thing I'm talking about is when Garrosh is like, I want to see the continent painted red. And that's exactly what we're seeing with the mini-map here in terms of the wards everywhere. UNSWA just have absolute vision control, and it's because they've got so many towers down, you know, the outer tower in each lane, you know, they're able to go just so deep with the wards, and that's just reflected in the mini-map.
You know, I always struggled with that expansion, because the acronym for it was WoW Mop.
That's fair enough, but you know, it's better than naming their new MOBA the same acronym as their expansion to StarCraft. Hots, didn't like it.
Anyway, back to League of Legends, developed by Riot Games. Huey getting a little bit caught out there. He is actually hurting every time he gets caught. He only has so much tankiness. In a way, he's the weakest link in the chain, actually. You can't help but feel if Team B are able to catch him a couple of times, then they can kill him quite easily, and then all his control is gone from the next team fight. They will actually have a much easier time getting on top of JRDB, or in fact, any of the damage threats, or potential threats in general, on Team A. So that may actually be something they should be looking for, or even just looking for picks in general.
I've got to point out as well, you know, the major CS discrepancy between the two AD carries. It's happened in a few games this tournament so far, where one AD carry is just massively outclassing the one, and that's just the case right now with Stealthix. He's 60 CS ahead of Evils, and it's reflecting in his items. He's got an Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, finished boots. You know, you compare that, it looks similar with two completed items by Evils, but the static shiv is so much cheaper than a Phantom Dancer, and the fact as well, it's going to matter a whole lot more in Stealthix. He doesn't need to worry about the AoE damage, the wave clear that static shiv brings. He's able to go for a Phantom Dancer, which is going to let him do his job of single targeting someone down and taking them down as quickly as possible, because the AoE is just already down pat by the rest of his team.
That being said, Evils is, in a way, a force to be reckoned with. I mean, you could say that he's a long way behind Stealthix, and he definitely is, but he's got a good amount of damage. He's got a really good amount of wave clear as well. You know, you get caught by a binding and then a boomerang, you do take a chunk. It doesn't matter who you are. You know, we've seen them really hurt Huey with exactly that. They have big potential for picks. They're just not quite able to cash in on it. And I was actually just mentioning picks as Omega Ziz was the one who got picked there. Did not quite go down for it, but yeah, might be in a little bit of trouble. Walks a little bit too close to the fire. Toasties and Huey find him. There goes the Sanguine Pool. External Rage is going to find him. They might actually have a fight here. Huey throwing down that ultimate already. The wall was there. Now Toastie's going aggressive on Yay, but the rest of Team B hasn't been able to get into the fight. There's been a wall between them. In fact, a large series of walls. Now the dash coming out from Amigas is to escape. The rest of Team B is healthy, but they don't want to pick that fight.
And once again, it's just as Dragon spawns. Dragon number 4, one of the more important buffs to pick up, should be handed over to UNSWA pretty much on a silver platter. Yeah, I mean, you can sit behind the wall all you want, UNSWP, but you've got a Nunu there with Consume, with Smite, and he picks up the Dragon, no problem. And now Megasis, it's the blow flash to get out of there. I mean, you've got to sit there and consider, you know, what are you actually thinking when you're trying to steal Dragon from a team that's well ahead of you, and they've got a Nunu?
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's a slim chance, and the truth is, you're better doing something else. As much as that fourth dragon is a huge advantage, by depriving them of it, all you're really doing is delaying a little bit and blowing a summoner spell for it. You know, that flash is now not going to be available for a crucial engage or disengage for Amigas is, and when you're fighting through Anivia walls and you're fighting through the absolute zero, you actually need that flash a lot more than you normally would.
Yeah, and I mean, by all means, leave Evils there, let him get a lucky boomerang blade over the wall, but wasting the flash is just really, really not worth it. So let's have a look at JRDB once again. He's going to be the spotlight of this game, of course. 5, 1, and 3. He's managing to recall finally and spend a lot of that gold that he's been investing wisely in the 0% bank, and picks up a needlessly large rod. So this is going to start this is going to be where his damage really starts coming into play. You've already seen he started, you know, bursting people down, but he's just added a huge amount of AP just with that one item. You know, he's getting a lot of tankiness and utility with the mana from his other 2 items, but now he's getting raw damage, and this is where things really start to get scary.
Wow, speaking of scary, there's the pick at long last. TV find Slave Lord actually, they might want to look for more. No, they're not quite going to be able to get Huey. Evils actually did take a little bit of damage there. I believe that had already been dealt before the fight, but, you know, they have the damage. If they can get the picks, they have the damage. That's exactly the game they need to play, and they've just proved that they can play it. This could be the beginning of a turnaround. If they can get a catch, I was just about to say, Stealthix though with an amazing cleanse. My screen has just gone away from the fight. This is too much for me to handle. It looks like Omegas has already gone down. Once the teleports come in, but irreducible to the middle of the action. Evil's doing what he can, but wow, the collateral damage is huge. melts the bulk of the team now. Irrecusable, the tankiest member, is limping away. He goes down. The only one to survive is going to be, the vampire. Just recalling in the bush. In fact, they're even hunting
is not
for
a
him as
vampire.
well.
He's a Hemo
Oh,
Lancer.
they found him! He's gonna try and trade for Stealthix, but no, he's running away. That's not how you deal damage. Turned around at the wrong time. Goes down without even so much as trading the kills there. And now they're looking for the Baron. Wow.
I'm jumping in there. Vlad is not a vampire. Common misconception. He's a hemomancer. Doesn't fight people, just manipulates blood. But I want to talk about the start of that team fight, which was where Omegazis, it looked like a great Glacial Prison. Yes, it caught 3 members. The key person he wanted to take down, though, was Stealthix. You hold tab, and you look at his item build. He's got a Quicksilver Sash, so he got out of that pretty much as easily as he could, got back into the backline, and you saw later on how much of an impact he had on that team fight. The collateral damage just wiping External Rage off the map before Soul Shackles could even finish casting. And because of that, they were able to take out the Baron. And now, that small lead we saw before, sure they had a few dragons ahead, they're now 7,000 gold ahead, they've got Baron, they've got 4 dragons, things are not looking good for UNSWB.
They really aren't, as Irrecusable gets caught up again. The walls are just phenomenal. Doesn't take too much damage for it this time, but they're ahead, and this time they're even more ahead. It looked like there was going to be a bit of a turnaround there, but it just wasn't meant to be. Huey Desu getting caught up there. Evil's really trying to throw it out. Actually, they might have it here. It's just JRDB and Huey. Stealthix is there, but a beautiful wall for the disengage. No, Toasties is now going in alone. He's actually confident the wall's going to go down, and it is indeed. Falls over already. Stealthix the one to pick that up. Nice hold from the backside, but that's onto Huey and JRDB. The rest of the damage is not there as Stealthix picks up everyone else on the team. JRDB and Huey able to escape by flashing over the wall. It's going to be Irrecusable and Omega. It could be the Penta. There's the Quadra. And it's the Pentakill! Out of nowhere comes the Pentakill for Stealthix. Oh, I think they should have saved their surrender for this game, because that was just a tough pill to swallow for Team B.
So during that fight, it was an engage on all sort of fronts coming out from UNSWB. Yeah, we saw Omegazis get what looked like a good Glacial Prison once again into the backside of UNSWA. But the key thing to notice is Stealthix is the guy dealing all the damage right now. It used to be JRDB, but now it's Stealthix on that Graves. And no one was able to get on top of him, and he's quite slippery anyway. Of course, he's got he's trapped in the wall.
Oh wow, he comes out of the pool and he's dead.
What are you gonna do at this point?
I mean, it feels like it's a little bit of a foregone conclusion. All that we have to do is arrive at said conclusion. I think though, Team A might actually want to back away here, just get themselves healthy. They don't need to risk it at this point.
So, we've seen UNSWB get a few picks so far, and once again, that's what they have to continue to do. It's looking a little bit harder now that Stealthix, he's got that Quicksilver Sash. It's going to be even harder to actually catch. So what that means is, UNSWB are facing the idea that they've got to land 2 Dark Bindings on the Stealthix to actually catch him out. First one's going to land, he's just going to get on out of there. Yeah, he's going to use a big cooldown. That's going to be the window for them to take him down from there. But when you look at this from a statistical point of view, 13,000 gold ahead, 4 dragons ahead. Baron, yeah, sure, it's about to run out, but look at the timer on that dragon. Oh my goodness, it's dragon o'clock. And UNSWB are nowhere near it. They've got super minions pouring down the middle lane. Dragon number 5 could be the exact winning condition right now that UNSWA are going to use to finish off the game.
It really looks like it's going to be that way. And there it goes. That's the big bad 5th buff, and you said it yourself, the Baron ran out and the Dragon came up, and it looks like this could be the one they use to press the advantage. They're going to move into that bottom lane where there is only the inhibitor turret standing, and this could be, if not their push for victory, then certainly cracking the base open even further. They've got in the mid lane, and this just spreads it wide open, and it makes it really, really hard to beat. Irrecusable getting caught. Wow! The 3-man ultimate, but no, there's no engage to come on top of it. Omega's it. By the time he gets in there, it's all too late. He goes down to Stealthix. Pick up another one there. I don't want to call it this early, but we could see the second Pentakill in the middle of the fight. They haven't been able to get any other kills, so they were just worrying about the turret. JRTB actually got a little bit low, was taking the turret for a little bit too long. The turret does go down now. Stealthix picks up, he picks up No, that was the Slave of Lord picking up Irrecusable instead. Evils goes down to Stealthix, and now JRDB gonna pick up the last one. That's the ace. It looks like that's gonna be it. They're gonna pick up these Nexus turrets like it ain't even a thing. It was a surrender for the first game. It was a straight up and up victory for the second. No, it is gonna be a surrender for the second one as
Double
well.
explosion? No, they didn't get the
surrenders.
Nexus.
Not enough time for the double explosion, but that is going to be the University of New South Wales Legion Desu getting to go to the Riot Studios in Sydney to play out the finals live next weekend.
And unfortunately, due to time constraints, getting this tournament done in 1 week